Today we're going to be seeing another busy service with Jack and Will, as many of you have requested. And if you haven't seen our first review, then be sure to check that out after seeing this video. My name is James. I've been cooking for many years in the United States and over here in Europe. And I did work not that long ago in London, not that far from where they are currently working. So all of this brings back a lot of memories. Now, let's get started.
Salad on there, didn't you? You got the, is it greens coming or is it on that?
Greens gone.
Greens are gone.
Wait.
Do you know how many fries you had on the tray?
None.
No? Find out when he comes back.
There, 3.
Did he have any on the tray? No. No? All right.
So far, this looks like the beginning of the service because everything is going pretty steady. I mean, they have tickets, but everything looks calm. If you've worked in a busy kitchen, then you know what the feeling is. It's like the calm before the storm. It's coming.
So it begins.
And if you have a maitre d', which is the friend of the house, the manager that doesn't like your chef, then he can sink the kitchen, especially if he makes all the reservations at once. Now, since we already made a review on a video similar to this, I'll try not to repeat myself, so I'll try to talk about other things. But in essence, I think Chef Will is actually on the pass right now. I think, it may be Jack. And since he's on the pass, he's responsible for coordinating what's going where. He's expediting and also plating the plates. And this station looks to be the garnish station. So he has the fryer and he also has the flat top, as well as an induction. So he has a lot of work.
Wait.
There's the dish pit with all the machines. In the old days, when you used to apprentice to become a chef instead of paying a lot of money to go to culinary school, you used to actually get hired first as a porter or a dishwasher and then have to work your way up. Even though I learned from my father and we opened our own family restaurant, I still started in the dish pit for quite a few months until my dad started to put me on like larder and other stations to help him later on in the kitchen.
Henry.
What happened? ¿Qué pasa? What is? Why do camera?
¿Qué pasa, tío? Depending on how the kitchens are arranged, sometimes they'll have an extra area where this is only for the pots and pans, the heavy equipment, because a lot of the big pots and pans do not go through the machines, or they can't.
Get hot and soapy on there after, yeah?
If you're asking yourself, why is the chef changing the nine pans? Normally when you have a very hot kitchen and you have your purees and everything left out, any little bits that are on the side of your nine pans, your bottles, your pots, whatever it may be, will dry out. And that can go into your puree or the food or anything that you're going to put on the plate, and then it's served to the guests and it's not nice. It also could be some sort of foodborne illness if left out too long and then you consume it. So this is not a good thing. And the other chef right now dealing with the fryer, this is his station. He should be thankful that the head chef is doing this, because normally you get yelled at to change this. You don't get help.
Josh!
Take those, yes, chef?
What in the fuck have you done there?
Josh, take...
Josh! Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Joe, don't leave your brother in the shit. Open up, guys. I need you to help me
yes,
a little
chef.
bit. They're fucking cooked to fuck.
Yeah. Okay. Keep it nice and clean.
Now, some of you are thinking, why is he starting to clean the flat top already during a busy service? There are still little bits of food that are stuck to the flat top, and if you don't scrape them off, it can go into whatever else that you're cooking, And with a lot of these flat tops, as you can tell, you can also have a little channel of water running around it. So in some kitchens, it may be water running continuously, or in this one, after service, you have to clean that out.
Okay, so 1 Fallow burger, 2 fries, 1 greens on. Howie, can you do the floor for me, please? Can you do the floor? These all horse lettuce.
We didn't see this angle before. If the shoes look a little different, they are. In many kitchens, you cannot work there unless you have non-slip shoes. And what are non-slips? Is exactly what they are. They prevent you from slipping, even when there's like food and grease on the floor. In the US, a lot of places use these non-slip mats, which also feel good on your back. But over here in Europe, those may not exist. And personally speaking, I recommend getting steel-toed non-slip shoes if you're working in a kitchen. More than likely, nothing will happen, but it may happen where something heavy, something sharp may fall off the counter onto your foot. And if you don't want to lose your foot, steel toe will be your friend.
Make sure we clean this when we're using it, yeah?
Yes, chef.
When you work in a kitchen with a very good chef, a strict chef, you cannot allow anything to be unorganized and dirty. You have to be clean.
Are these buns branded this morning? Could do with being a little bit clearer. The brand. Yep. You need to make sure it's washed before you do it. What? With the wire brush.
The brander.
The brander, you know the end, it builds up the carbon on it.
Shit, yeah.
So just brush it with the wire thing.
He's right about that. The bun or food will start to stick to the branding iron and you won't get such a nice sear. There are many ways to talk to people in the kitchen, and normally, especially in certain kitchens, it's very direct, but not very respectful. And here, it was respectful.
Thank you.
Table 4 is away.
I'm going down.
Jack, fire table 4, they need to turn the table.
Yes,
Too
chef.
much, not thick enough.
If you heard that clearly, they need to turn the table. What does this mean? Now imagine that you have a restaurant with about 150 seats in total. If you want to get to 300 or more and you have about a 6-hour dinner service, you need to push. You need to reserve the table at least twice and turn them at least once or more to be able to get to that number, because some people will stay there for hours. And this is why, especially if you're working starters or larder, that you get the food out quickly. Not just to sink the rest of the kitchen when they get in the shit with a bunch of orders, which can also be fun to watch, but it is to actually get service done faster, which is very important.
Service please. All of it's going to be table 6.
These are all the little sauces that need to stay hot for service in the bain-marie, and you can tell that they even labeled the handles. This is good, so you remember which one's which.
Right, so next up, we're going to go 2 burgers and a lunch steak, do we?
And we're seeing the exact same thing like in the previous video. Will and Jack know how to run a very efficient kitchen. They're being very respectful, and when the chef commands something, we chef, meaning yes chef.
Two in the back.
Sean, table 4.
Fire, they need to turn the table.
Yeah.
I just got told
25.
25 hold. 82.
Let's go for it. Thank you.
Yeah, they're done, but go slowly on 82.
3.
25 is still in the cod's head.
3. Hopefully it'll be there by the time we get to it. After this, we're going to go table 4, please.
And I think from our previous video that cold larder or the cold starters are actually on the other side.
Oh, please. Lucky, 2 fries, table 6.
Thank you.
Are they missing a... Looks like they're waiting for another dish on 6. you want to double check?
Yeah, with the waiter.
Maybe not, actually.
It pays to be observant. When you have a lot of tickets and a lot of orders on each ticket, it can be very confusing if there are not a lot of good, clear communications. And also, normally when you put the starters up on the pass, a server may just grab one of the starters and take it to another table that it shouldn't go to, or for another order that is not out yet. It happens.
Relax, please.
The lights that you're seeing are actually the heat lamps, and they're meant to keep the food warm. And if you're wondering if they actually work, yeah, they do. Sometimes in some of the restaurants you actually see adjustable heat lamps, so they won't just be solid or static. You can actually like pull them down to where they're closer to the food. You don't want to leave them there too long because they can actually start to like overcook some of the food as well. I mean, they get super hot.
Wait. It's the last of my cauliflower puree, okay?
Ooh, cauliflower puree. You can prepare cauliflower puree a few different ways. When I was in the Ritz-Carlton here, we used to make a white cauliflower puree for a lot of the dishes that we had. So they would actually boil the cauliflower in milk and then use that milk that we boiled it in to then help to emulsify it later on. In England, we did have like a hazelnut cauliflower puree. And how we did this was by basically chopping the you-know-what out of the cauliflower before, sticking it in a pan, butter, cooking the cauliflower a lot until you get a lot of color, not until it's burnt, but having a lot of color, and then putting that in the Thermomix, of course, and blending it, cream, milk, salt, and well, making it into a puree. Super simple. The plates are looking delicious, and you can tell that they popped it into second gear right now. Things are starting to pick up a lot. They're starting to get busy.
Okay, service please. Both of those for starters.
Now, me personally, I love a busy service. Not like 5 hours continuously of a busy service, but when it does get busy, it can be a blast. Not for everyone though. There are a lot of people that when it gets super busy, they can't handle it and they start to either freak out like a deer in headlights, they just freeze, or something happens. I've seen even people break down crying. I've spoken about that before. And some people just quit right on the spot. They leave the kitchen. The most important thing when it gets super busy in the kitchen is like a catastrophe that happens. You have to remain calm. It doesn't mean that you need to be slow. It just means that you have to have a clear head. You can't be freaking out and panicking and making mistakes, because then it makes everything worse and you can have a bad service that way. Trust me, I've had a lot of bad services. All it takes is one person messing up the whole thing and then it's like a weak link in the chain.
Lamb shank coming up, Ewan.
starting to get a little busy at the end there. Everyone was calm, organized, and collective. And most importantly, respectful. We didn't hear a lot of yelling and everything, well, maybe off camera. But in any case, it looked like a very good service. If any of you have any comments or suggestions on what I should review next, another video like this, or maybe one of Gordon Ramsay's videos.
It'd be greatly appreciated for the next 20 minutes, Gordon. I'm not your fucking mate.
If you did happen to learn a few things in this video, then be sure to give the video a like and a share, but most importantly, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. Until next time, be sure to check out this next video coming up here, and I will see you again very soon. Until then, take care.